What's going on, boys and girls? Today is a special day. A day where the internet trolls are right, or if I can prove them wrong once again. But first, welcome back to feekiflips, the most dumbed down real estate channel on all of YouTube, because if I can make money doing this, then so can you. So today we are going to go check out our college rental that has been occupied for about 2 years now. And if you guys weren't following the channel back then, make sure to go rewatch the original videos on that house, because we go into depth on like the rehab and the costs and all that type of stuff that I'm not going to hit super deep on this video here today. But whenever I posted that video, and especially on TikTok, people are always like, how could you rent to college kids? They're gonna fuck that place up. You guys made that place way too nice for the college kids. So that's why today is the day. Either they're right or they're wrong. Spoiler alert, they're wrong. So we'll go check out the house. We'll go look at the damage, because it's totally as is since the guys moved out right now. We're about to get it released very soon. That's why I'm headed over there, also to show some new groups the home that are interested in renting it. And then after we do the property tour, we'll run through real quick what we did over there and kind of how the property looks right now. We'll come back to the office and then I'll dig into the numbers with you guys so we can see how this thing has been performing as a rental, even after the college kids have been fucking it up for 2 years straight. All right, guys, so just pulled up to the property, so I'm gonna flip the camera around so we can do a quick little walkthrough for what this thing looks like. Here is, hopefully this thing zooms in or focuses right, but here is the house. So over on this side, basically what we did in here, if you guys didn't catch those original videos of this project, we did double appliances in the kitchen here. So plenty of storage for all of the college kids. Double stackables right here, so no worries about waiting for your laundry, and 2 fridges for the food preppers as well. So kitchen is pretty well suited for a lot of people to live here. This is actually where the garage used to be. This was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house with a single car garage. And so we elevated the floor in here so there's no step down. And then we converted this to 2 bedrooms over here. So every single room has its own smart TV and its own lock on the door, just for some added security. And it's actually set up, we did this so we could rent it by the room eventually. We haven't had to do that yet because the kids have enough people in their group where they can fill up the entire place. But it is set up for that, or we could do like Airbnb by the room or something else. Tankless water heater stuffed in this closet here, since remember this was the garage, so mechanicals were out here at one point. So moving into the living room, we've got the slightly bigger smart TV right there. And then the back side of the house, so we opened this up, which made a huge difference because this house, will go outside in just a second. Ceilings are pretty low because it's a flat roof. There's no attic or anything. But this hallway used to be about half right here. And then this obviously came out farther. So having this opened up actually makes a big difference for how big this house feels. So we've got another bedroom over here, not too much to show. And then we've got 3 bathrooms that are all identical right here. So you can see just basic, everything you need in a bathroom, a little bit of storage up there, shower, no bathtubs, anything like that. And then we have our 3 other bedrooms back here, and that's really about it. It's a pretty basic house, but it does the job. A little storage here, got the internet set up there. Definitely go back and watch those original videos because we go more in depth. I had Wes on the channel and he went over like right after we rehabbed this thing, and he went over like everything that we did, because we spent like 180 or 190,000 rehabbing this house. Like literally we did everything that you can do to a house, we did here. There was one point where you could drive by outside and see all the way through the house because it was down to the studs, no siding, nothing. And it just cost a fortune to rehab because 1, GC for that amount of work, and then 2, we're on a slab here, so there's no crawl, no attic. So for rearranging the floor plan to do this, to rearrange the plumbing, you got to saw through the concrete to do it and then re-pour. So a lot of concrete work out there. And speaking of concrete, let's head outside. So in the front yard here, we got lucky, kind of, because the city let us do a ton of concrete across the front here for a couple reasons. One, this neighborhood is super full of cars. Usually school is out right now, and I saw they put in these signs here for there's parking permits now. Those I think are brand new. The signs are shiny, so that's my way of seeing if it's new. And we also got lucky because in the front here, while we were doing this concrete and finishing up the house, this is one of the last things that we did. The city was here redoing all the sidewalks. So we worked with the city and they allowed us to pour concrete across the entire front yard here to get more cars off of the street. Because normally, you're not allowed to just pour a concrete front driveway unless city okays it. And then also because they were redoing the sidewalks, we were able to get like a really long curb cut here. You can see really only here it's rolled, but it starts about here. So we have full like 4 spaces where you can pull onto the concrete from over there. And then we did more concrete back around to here to connect to the patio. So the kids that were in here before, I guess whoever like didn't drive a lot would park right there. And we had another car here and there was like, 5 across the front. So all 6 guys had room to park. Over here, there's really not much to show. Obviously we did new AC and all that. Got a little storage shed back here and then nothing in the backyard. You can see here the guys had like a turf or probably beer pong or something right here because it's all compacted. This is something that we might improve in the future if needed. Maybe just make it a more legit backyard, but right now we don't really need to. They made it their own, so that was fine. And then over here, there's really nothing. Obviously, for exterior work, this has got that like TPO roll roof on it, so we redid that. And then new siding around the whole house, new windows around the whole house when we did rehab it. And then just really, really basic landscaping in the front here, just to clean it up a little bit. And then over here, that's why the windows are different size. This part right here actually used to be the garage. So that was the one car that would roll up. And then this is, just the kitchen there. So this is where those other 2 bedrooms are inside the house where we just were. So overall, the house is actually in really good shape. Those guys have been in here for 2 years. We finished this project 2 years ago, and we've had the same group of guys in there the entire time. And one nice thing about the college kids is like usually they're pretty good about, if you set the proper expectations, I should say, they're pretty good about swapping out leases. So, if we have 6 guys living here and then one of them wants to go, they know up front, like that's cool with us. Just find someone that we can approve to get swapped back in that also meshes with the rest of the roommates. So we had that happen a couple times, but overall no issues. And because we spent so much money in here the first time and redid everything, there hasn't really been like any maintenance calls whatsoever because everything has been brand new. All right guys, so real quick on the numbers on this one. I wish we could buy 10 of these fucking things because it absolutely rips as a single family rental, especially for our market here in Reno, Nevada. We are a higher price point West Coast market. Median home value here is over $500,000. Rents have not nearly caught up to that crazy appreciation that we've had in the last, I guess, since 2008 really, but definitely since COVID and on. So it's really, really tough to make a single family home cash flow in this market. And the way that we did this one is one way to make that work. The issue is we also got super lucky with the timing on this because if I remember right, I think we bought this right before COVID. Let me check our spreadsheet here. Okay, it was during COVID. So October of 2020 is when we bought this. So prices had already started to go up, but not, obviously we caught it like right when they started to take off. And then also the thing was absolutely destroyed when we bought it. If you guys watch those original videos, you can see the original condition there as well. So we paid $175,000 for this house. And then we were only expecting to sell it for like, if I remember right, like $325 to $340 as a single family flip. Luckily in this neighborhood, right by the university up there in North Reno, we have many, many examples of other people that have done kind of a similar thing to the single family houses there. So we were able to get a much higher appraisal and we knew that going in. We would never risk that. Like, let's do something that's never been done here and hopefully we can get an appraisal that's like way more than the value of it would be as just a single family house because it's a student rental now. So we had fair confidence that we would be able to do a full burr on this home, which is buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. That's what we did on this, and that is not very common in our market just because it's very hard to, make those numbers work as far as cash flow goes. So like I said, $175,000 for the purchase. We put like $180 or $190 into this home. And when it was all said or done after all of our expenses and all that stuff, we had, I'm just shooting from the hip here, but I think it was like between $375 and $385 all in when we were done with this house. So we knew to get all of our money back out, pay off the original short-term debt, and then get the cash that that we had sunk in the deal up and beyond the debt as well, we would have to have an appraised value of like $500K to get all that money out, which we did. We got a 505 appraisal back then, and we hit it at a very, very good time. I'm looking at our debt schedule here, and we refinanced this house at a 3.49%. Loan amount was $378,750, and our monthly payment on that house, principal, insurance, taxes, what is it, PITI? Principal, insurance, taxes. Better cut this out, Michael. You're gonna make me look like a dumbass. Hold on one second. So our payment on this house, PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, is only $1,877.73 a month. So super cheap, and a lot of that is just because of the timing where we could get a refi on an investment property for 3.49%. Obviously things are different now. Market has appreciated, so that's why I say I wish we could buy 10 of these things, but very, very unlikely that one, we'll be able to pick one up even in totally distressed condition for $175,000 again, and two, be able to refi it with a rate like this to get as much cash flow as we're about to get into. So we have this thing rented for $5,100 a month. And again, the trolls online, when you say that, people, I don't know what people's deal is, especially on TikTok. Like, you have a real estate investor TikTok where people are like, damn, that's sick. And then the same video will get drug into like liberal social justice warrior TikTok, and then you have the people that are like, that's a ripoff, I can't believe you're charging them, you're the problem, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, well, let's do some simple math here. 5,100 divided by the 6 people living there is $850 a month, and we pay for everything. We take care of all the utilities, we pay for the internet. It's set up for students to be dummy proof, so it can just be like, just pay us the $850 and that's it. You guys don't have to do anything else. You don't have to have any other responsibilities. Just pay the $850 and you're good. And when you look at the other student housing available in this area, $850 is a smoking deal. That's why we put it up for $5,100 as soon as it got vacant. And I had to show it to 3 groups right away because it is a good deal for what it is. So what does the house actually cash flow? I'm not sure, but you guys can do the math. Obviously we're taking in $5,100 a month. We're paying for the utilities. We have to pay for the mortgage in there. And then, if you're saving for expenses here and there, we still make crazy good cash flow for this being a single family home in a market that single family homes don't cash flow at all. It's very difficult to even find like a break even deal, especially where rates are now, where your payment can even be covered by the rents that you receive. So it's a really great asset for us. And then also for the rest of the people that are like, you totally over improve this property, kids are going to destroy it, blah blah blah. Okay, like there are college kids that destroy your property. There are grown adults that destroy your property. That's where like screening your tenants as good as you can. Obviously you're not going to be correct 100% of the time, but you do what you can on the front end. You don't just let anyone live there in any type of rental that you have, whether it's short-term, long-term, medium-term, college, whatever the fuck it is, you need to screen your tenants properly. So with this one, obviously, the kids apply. We require co-signers for every single kid. So it's like, we have so many people, we have 6 kids living there and then 6 sets of parents to go after for the rent. Everyone is set up on auto pay. Like I said, they don't have to pay for the utilities, none of that other shit. And then also a major benefit to over improving the property is, one, it's going to be nice as shit, which makes it easy to rent. College kids are used to renting pieces of shit where they're like, I guess I can live here. At least it's cheap. But 2, it makes it very, very low maintenance for us, assuming that we did our job on the front end by pre-screening the tenants. So we have no maintenance calls. I can probably name, on one hand, the number of maintenance calls we've had in the last 2 years, and they've all been like super, super minor, tiny little handyman fixes. And that's because we went all out. Like, it's a brand new fucking house. It's not going to need major maintenance for a very, very long time. So there is a break even there. Like, obviously you spend a lot and then you have no maintenance costs. That's why some investors buy like brand new construction turnkey assets or just turnkey in general. Or you can do the college slumlord method where you barely improve the property, you like just enough to be livable, and then you're not going to boost your rents, you're not going to get the appraisal, but you don't have to spend as much on the front end, but you're going to have more and more maintenance calls. You're going to be, I'm sure some of you guys have lived in places that you're always calling the landlord because shit has always gone wrong. That's not going to happen in this property for a very, very long time. That's why we did it. So that about wraps it up for this episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure to drop a comment down below if you have any questions about this deal or anything else relating to real estate investing so we can get them answered in future videos. And we will see you on the next episode.